Hello, it's LE Diecast, and in this video we are going to attempt to see if I can open up the top of this little Morris Mini. I've seen in some of the other videos and blogs out there that whether the Morris Mini can actually open up or not is kind of in question. You'll see it has the little switch on the bottom. It's right there, but I'm not sure it's going to work. I have yet to see anybody get one of these little guys open. So we're going to give that a shot. While I'm opening it up, I'll get my camera readjusted here. While I'm opening it up, what we're looking for is to see if this casting, the 2014 version, will, there we go, open up as this version does. And this version here is the this is 2009 version here, but you see that it's got a little switch on the bottom, and all you do is pull that switch. It's really simple. It's really easy. It slides easy, and it just pulls right off. So it's actually supposed to come off. It gives you that little switch, little roll bar and everything in there. It's pretty cool. And then it just pops right back on. I get it in there, and then you just hit the switch again to kind of lock it, and it won't come off. Here's one that doesn't have his top, and you can kind of see that how that little switch works. So it just slides open and shut there. So as far as this new version, well, we don't know if he's going to do that. Here he is. The minis have been, there's a couple castings of them. There's at least one more. This is the, let me back out a little bit. This is the 2001 Mini Cooper. It's a different casting. It looks about the same. This one never opened up. You see no switch on the bottom. They made a lot of this casting. I think the last time that we saw this one was about, oh, I don't know, maybe 2009, 2010. But the little Mini, we've seen that one in the Italian Job Retros. There was a red, blue, and I think it was a white, I think was the other one, this particular one. And it's a favorite. It's hard to find. I've only found a few of these, and I got enough to open one up. I got one for my collection, and I sent some off to friends, but it has not been an easy one to find. So let's take a look at this guy. So there's this little switch. It should just slide very easily, and you see it ain't sliding at all. That is not sliding. So what I am assuming is that, I'm thinking, let's see, is that a separate piece? Yeah, that's a separate piece. So that must either be glued or it's not going to come off. So that little switch there, that's not going to come off. So it's not coming off for mine either. Again, here's the exact same car from 2009, and that little guy just slides right off. He just comes right off. But no, not for 2011. It's been deemed dangerous. Little bit about the minis. I'm not an expert on the minis here in Southern California. We do see them. I even have a friend that has one, and I've gotten to ride in it. But we don't see a lot of them. And the new minis really aren't that related to the old ones, from what I understand. But made by BMC, British Motor Corporation. Goes way back to, oh, I think the 50s, maybe the 40s. You know, really small car made for kind of commuting around the city. The Mini that we know today, which this is the newer version of it, obviously, but the Mini that we know today first started looking like this from what was called the Mark II, and that was from the late 60s. It hasn't changed a lot. They've kind of kept the styling from that point. There's a lot of different versions, so the names you might notice, like the Cooper S Clubman, Mark III, Mark II. So somewhere around 1990, and I don't really remember, the company that made the Minis, BMC, moved it over to another corporation. Now that I say that, I forget. BMW now owns them, and I don't know if BMW own the Mini at this point or BMC. I don't remember, but they got moved over to what's called the Rover division. That eventually became the Land Rover. So it's kind of interesting that these tiny little cars were made by the same division that made these giant cars. So the new BMW Mini, that's probably what I drove in and what I see driving around here in the streets of California, that's not really related to the older Minis. So not really. They look the same, but technically very different. Something you might not know about these if you're not familiar with cars, toy people like myself, they're pretty powerful for how small they are. They're relatively light cars, and they're really pretty powerful. That's why in the Italian job, they used Minis to move the safes around and so forth, because they're very maneuverable, very powerful cars, at least for their size. They're very small. So, but I think we've answered the question. My Mini does not open either. Here's an old one that does. New one doesn't. Boo. So, thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.